So, this is me again, Lucifer, business and spiritual consultant. So, there's 2 new episodes on my website. Like I said, The Cube, if you haven't checked it out already, if you haven't seen it, there are 2 new episodes in the School of Scalomancy. Just scroll down and you'll be able to see the intro and the first episode of The Cube. Um, with that said, multiple realities. You have to understand that multiple realities are an existing thing in your immediate reality, because multiple realities are actually in the present moment. Like I said before, you could be literally doubling somebody else right now. The only thing is, there's certain universes where you're not doubled, but you're actually living in a whole new different experience, because of choices. So it's a very complicated thing, and very powerful thing too. It's very powerful because you can have, like I said in my other videos, you can actually work together with your other selves if you are aware enough. If you're aware enough of your being, then all of your other beings might be aware of you. If you are aware of them, they might be aware of you. So it's all about how you think, how your brain functions. So just the fact that I know that there are multiple universes, now the other me's can help me to achieve certain things if they wish to do so. Of course, there are probably like evil me's, and you know, or just me's that have a high level ambition, and they don't feel like stopping to help himself because he already achieved, like he's a little bit egotistical. um so it's quite an interesting thing here. Give me a second. So there is a community out there that are struggling because of fourth dimensional beings, bacteria. The reason I call them bacteria is because it's more of a disease than anything else. Like these so-called gang stalkers, or some people think that these people are aliens from a different universe, and that they are working with the men in black, the CIA, government agencies to block you. No, actually they're fourth dimensional beings that are attached to your spirit. um, and the more you become aware, the less power they have over your life. But you have to be willing to not play the victim. You have to be willing to not be a victim anymore. You have to be very aware. And of course, for women, it might be a little bit scary because they're alone, and they might take the shape of a man, and they might do certain things. Although I do not believe that they are capable of physically harming you. If you get physically harmed by a man, you were probably manipulated into seeing or encountering that man. I don't think that they themselves can do that, because it's all of this is very spiritual. It's very, very spiritual. And the CIA and the FBI have been conducting experiments since the early 70s with the LSD project and all of those things. Operation Heartbreak Hotel in Atlanta, where they used to give LSD to see the effects on people. They were using prostitutes and they were using prostitutes. The prostitutes would inject in some shape or form some drugs to the clients to see how the clients would react to the drug. Mind you, LSD is a very new drug. Some people take it recreationally right now, but in the early 70s, LSD was a drug that was created in a laboratory. It is not natural. There's nothing natural about LSD. It's a truth serum. That's what the FBI call it. They call it the truth serum. So it's a very new drug compared to marijuana that existed since the dawn of time, or cocaine that existed since the dawn of time. LSD is very different, and LSD is very affiliated with anything that has to do with mind control, spiritual control, and mind control. See, the thing is, if you can control the mind, you could probably also control the spirit, which is one of the things that they wanted to know. Experiences with mediums and things like that. So, and time travel. If you think the government is not interested in time travel, be very wrong, because they're actually investing a lot of money into warp drive. And a warp drive, who is the only one closest right now to actually building a warp drive, is a Canadian man, Laguerre or Laguerre or something like that. Aguirre, his name is, and he's the closest one to have figured out how to actually warp travel, folding space, going from one end, folding 2 points together in order to traverse long distances. Connecting 2 points of reality together in order to, point B and point A. Point A, we want to get to point A, but so the easiest way to do that is to, fold, those 2 points. There's a line here, there's a timeline here, right? And to, because light travel from point B to point A would take a certain amount of time. Light travel, you'd have to go into light year travel in order to get to point A, which would be fast, but not as fast. So warp drives are actually faster, because now you're cutting, in half reality, and you're taking reality from point B, and you're connecting reality from point B to the reality of point A. And then you come out of point A's reality to go wherever you want. So that has a lot to do with time travel. So, the common consensus is ice, the cold reduces time. So when you live in cold areas, that's why people in cold areas actually have a time dilation compared to the rest of the world, compared to if you live in a hotter place. Colder time travels slower. Time goes slower in colder area, and time goes faster in hotter areas. So people in cold areas will actually have a little bit of a time dilation compared to other places. And what does that time dilation does? Slows down aging. So people in colder areas are younger than people in hotter areas. People in hotter areas will grow older faster because of the stress. So stress also has something to do with time dilation. Your own personal time, your own personal universe, your own personal multiple universe can be affected by the amount of stress that you have, since you are aging yourself faster. So you can live in a hot place, but even if you add stress to the hot place, you can actually grow older faster. So that's why people in And that's a common consensus, that's a common knowledge that people have in hotter area. They will move slower in order not to get stressed faster, right? And then we have the idiom that people say, be cool. But why do we say be cool? What does that mean? Be cool means don't get on fire. Because if you get on fire, you'll stress out and you'll die quicker. So you gotta be cool. But why you gotta be cool? Well, people in cooler places are actually a bit younger because time slows down in those areas. So I'm going to let that marinate, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.